I'm Marceline Naudi. I've been working at the University of Malta for many years. I'm an activist. I always introduce myself as an academic and an activist. An activist in women's issues, LGBTIQ, violence against women. In the past also on race, ethnicity, migration. My bugbear is that the issue of women's issues generally, women's safety, has never been, there has never been the real political commitment to create the change that is required. Yes, there are many things which are required. But for them to happen, we need political commitment. And the way I have seen it is that although we get political talk, we rarely get political action, and we rarely get, as the saying goes, put your money where your mouth is. So there are resources which are lacking across the board, both in terms of prevention and in terms of protection, and prosecution, and policies. But I would say in situations like those, so if you are talking to youth workers or teachers, as you said, educators, school counsellors, that sort of thing, then first of all it is prevention, and prevention means challenging the gender role stereotypes, right? Because it's all one, okay? So women are considered, women are expected to be more passive, okay? Women are expected to be patient. Women are expected to be caring. Women are expected to understand, okay? So a woman whose partner is not treating her with the respect that one would expect, okay, might say, well, you know, I understand that he has a very stressful job. I understand, you know, I mean, listen, you know, I look around me, you know, I mean, my mother, you know, was in the same situation, you know, I just have to be patient, you know, show him I love him, and, you know, things are going to get better, and whatever. This is part of our role, okay? We are taught to be more passive, we are taught to be more accepting of bad behavior, whereas men are taught to be more aggressive. Okay, so aggression is something, yes, but even aggression is something expected if you're not, as a man, because of course, just to be clear, gender role stereotypes limit both boys and girls. A man has to be macho, leader, show aggression, be a man, not a mouse. You know. So a man who is more caring or sensitive, who might well be mocked as a result, because those are feminine qualities, and the worst possible thing you can do as a man is show feminine qualities. One thing which I also tell my students in class and explain, that, you know, basically as a woman you are told there's this woman stuff that you're supposed to do, and the way to be, etc. And then there's this man stuff, right? That boys are expected to achieve, to conform to. And I tell them, you know, but I want to be able to do all stuff. As I, you know, I don't mean like everything in the world, but I mean, you know, I want to be able to pick and choose. You know, I want to be a bus driver. I can pick that, you know. I want to be a nurse. I can pick that. You know, and I think that so in terms of what is it that you need to emphasize with the people who you will be training, is precisely to get rid of the gender role stereotypes, to work very hard to get rid of the gender role stereotypes, because really in our society it should make not the slightest bit of difference if you're male or female or non-binary or whatever. Okay? It should not make the slightest bit of difference
Mm-hmm.
to who you are,
Mm-hmm.
to what you like,
Yes.
to what you're good at,
Mm-hmm.
to the way you behave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it should
Yeah.
not make the slightest bit of difference.
Yeah.
But of course,
Mhm.
it still does a lot. So I think that is the primary thing. There is the saying.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who discovered water, but we can be sure it wasn't a fish.
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
because when we live in it, we just accept it. We
It's
just take
normal.
it for granted. We don't look at it.
Yes.
We don't look at it.
Yes.
And because we live within our society,
Mm-hmm.
that tells us certain things that we just accept. We just take it for granted. It's there. It's always been like that. So we say, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. We don't stop, think, and examine. So we need to awaken people, if you like, open their eyes,
Mhm.
to look.
Mm-hmm.
To look at their society
Mhm.
and why our society is as it is, and then move from there to how we could be
Yes.
rather than how we are.